Welcome into Command Center Game Day Live, driven by AAA. The new AAA Commanders MVP membership is here. Get all the benefits of AAA, like roadside assistance, plus opportunities to win game tickets, access to exclusive team events and experiences. Get 15% off Commanders gear at the online Pro Shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Commanders MVP membership upgrade for free. Head to AAA.com/Commanders to join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
Welcome in, Commanders family. We are out here on the sidelines of AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, where our Washington Commanders will look to take the field against their NFC opponent, the Dallas Cowboys. Fellas, we are all ready for these rivalry games. Welcome in to Command Center Game Day Live, driven by AAA. I am your host, Brian Colbert Jr., here with some great guys. Hall of Famer Brian Mitchell, because I can't call him Future no more. He headed that way. And then, of course, Mr. 8 to the 9, Santana Moss. But y'all know him in these parts as the Cowboy Killer. Fellas, we got a lot to talk about today, but we do have some breaking news. Off the rip, Tana, I'm going to start with you because we just found out Deebo Samuel is inactive for today's game. We will get into the actives later, but Deebo Samuel being missing, man, means it's time for other guys to step up.
Yeah, we're going to learn a lot about our team today. I think, knowing that you have a guy that in Deebo who's been all our offense in the passing game for the last, 4 or 5 weeks, and now it's the next man up kind of, mentality. But also with that being said, days like today, you're going to find out who you have on your receiver core, but also stars will be made today. Trust me, somebody's going to rise to the challenge.
And B-Mitch, we know a guy like Deebo is going to make his presence felt whether he's on that field or not. How did guys like you make sure y'all showed it? Now, B-Mitch, you ain't missed no real games, right? But what did you get from those guys that were missing but on the sideline still showing love and showing up for their guys?
Well, they help the guys out. You got guys like Luke out there. You have Jalen Lane out there. And I think Deebo could be a guy, just let them see what he's seeing. Those veteran eyes sometimes can make the game a lot easier for you. Mm-hmm. But the ultimate thing is, Jalen Lane gets an opportunity today. Yeah. Luke gets an opportunity today. My man Moore gets another opportunity today. And then you get Robbie Chosen. He gets another opportunity today. Every one of these guys, they are professional athletes, and they get a chance to play. I know people outside of it look at this thing as, well, they don't have a chance. Starters are not the only people that can play. Mm-hmm. The other guys behind them are not starters because the other guy may have more experience or been around a little bit longer. But now you're going to find out stars are made in situations like this. Yeah. And I hope a guy steps up today and makes himself into a star.
And fellas, it's not just about the people that are inactive today, because that is a big story. We also have a guy active that we've been waiting to see all season long. The big guy, Sam Cosmi, is back. B-Mitch, man. You said woo. That's how we're all feeling right now. How does a guy like that add to what we've already been doing right with this offensive line?
When this running game is going, he's been great. Yeah. Okay, we look at last year, the way he played. Well, now we have a very good running game before he even gets back. Yeah. Now he comes in, he only makes that goes a little bit better. Yes. And the thing of it, if you can run the football effectively, you can keep that explosive offense on the sideline. You score some touchdowns. If you start running the ball effectively in an NFC East game, you give yourself a chance to win, because now you can work everything off your offense, play action passes, everything. Yeah. But you run that ball effectively and stop the run on the other side, good things happen for you.
It's nothing better than having your Pro Bowl right guard back in the game. I think one of the things that we saw about Cosmi before he went down, man, he was just getting into his own. Yeah. And I'm happy that now he's back. And when you get a guy that has had a setback like that took him out the game, took him away from the game for a while, he comes back with a little chip, knowing that, man, he missed being out here with this guy. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to bring, as far as the energy for that offensive line today.
And I don't think enough has been made of what we missed from him as a leader. He is the leader on this offensive line. He is the elder statesman that has been around for a while, got that new bag. Shout out to Sam Cosmi. We're all excited to have you back. The fans are excited to have you back. But I got a feeling there's nobody more excited than JD5, Jaden Dales, to have Sam Cosmi back. Let's hear from our QB1 as he approached this Dallas matchup.
Respond, go out there and play hard. And we got to execute because it's a tough team that we're playing, division rival. So we're looking to get a win, and I know they are too. I mean, we got the chance to, take this thing to another level. Obviously, the stats are the stats, but it just says we could score with the best of them, and we could put up points, but we just got to be better with the details and execution. So, we don't have slow starts or anything like that. So that's something that we're just honing in and focusing on more.
That was our quarterback, Jaden Daniels. Now, it's truly all in the details for JD5. And two strong offenses going head-to-head out here today's game. Let's take a look at those offenses right now. Our Commanders' run game has been one of the best in the league with an average of 151 rushing yards per game. Meanwhile, the Cowboys' pass game is second in the league with an average of 270 yards per game. With quarterback Dak Prescott on pace to having a career year, Dak has thrown for over 1,600 yards and 13 touchdowns with just 3 interceptions this season. A big game for our Commanders, so let's dive right into 5 of the top storylines surrounding that game. It's time for Give Me 5, presented by UA Local 5 Plumbers. Protect the health of the nation's capital since 1890. Fellas, got a lot of storylines here, but I don't think anyone's bigger than the first time we're seeing Dak and Jaden play on the same field together. Remember, last year they did not get to play. Dak was out. Now, Dak having somewhat of a career year, Mitch. How do we slow that down today?
Well, the thing about it, we slow it down by Jaden being on the field with his offense, running the football effectively and making them become a team that has to come out there and throw the ball down the field. We know they want to do it anyway, but if they only one-dimensional doing that, you have a great chance of making big plays against them. Look, Dak is having an unbelievable year, but the mere fact is that we talk about Dak and also Jaden playing each other. They're not playing against each other. They're on the field at the same time. But the ultimate thing is we got these two quarterbacks who the league is going to use to promote this game. But the ultimate thing is it's going to be what defense steps up the most. And, their defense hadn't played well. Ours have had their struggles. Who's going to show up today and say, I'm not letting the other offense go out there and run ramshot over me?
Yeah, B-Mitch said it well. Some of our best defense has to be some good offense from us. Sustainable drives and doing some of the things effectively that we do well, running the football, completions, moving the chains on third down, things of that nature. If we can go out there and play the kind of football that we've been accustomed of playing, moving the ball up and down the field, then we can keep Dak on the sideline a little longer and have him come out here a little cold. But Dak is going to be Dak. He's going to do what he do. And I've been saying this for years, man. I've been a big fan of Dak, and I'm not happy that he's having a career year this year. But, at the same time, man, you can't knock him.
Yeah, and you want to play people at their best, right? So right now we're getting Dak and this Cowboys offense at their best. And speaking of their best, it sounds like maybe they got their best player returning in C.D. Lamb. We're already seeing Dak and George Pickens look incredible. That chemistry happened immediately. But now you got a guy in C.D. Lamb, which forces George Pickens to go against the second-best corner.
Yeah.
Not ideal for us, however. We do have a secondary B-Mitch that's ready for the task.
Yeah, they got a secondary ready for the task, but that secondary is going to be helped if we can get pressure on the quarterback. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
How is Joe Witt and his team going to find time to get pressure? Is it going to be with 4? We talked about the offensive line and what they've been doing. Can we go out there and get some pressure on them? Also, when they blitz, will they get home? It's about all that. Make Dak speed up his process, or make him hold on to the ball just a little bit longer, and you give your guys a chance to get out there and get him. So it's going to be about those things. But like I said, when a quarterback is running like he does, every once in a while you run into a little hiccup. Yeah. Hopefully this game is his hiccup.
And then some of the things that Schottenheimer been doing with Dak is getting him outside the pocket, doing a little boots and waggles. So we have to have a counter for that. That's something that I picked up watching tape, that he's not just sitting back there, like a statue. He's moving around, making it hard, regardless if his offensive line not protecting him that long. They making it hard for guys to get after him. So if we do rush with 4, we have to send somebody every now and then to try to catch him to where he might be at, because if you don't get to him, he can throw it around, and he got 2 guys that's very capable of catching everything.
And Tanner, when you look at our defense, one thing that we have seen signs of struggling with is the rushing attack. Now, the Cowboys got a buy in Javonte Williams coming out of the Broncos. UNC cat, he can play, he can catch, he can block, he can run. How do we keep a guy like Javonte Williams and the rest of this run game going?
I think being gap sound. I think one of the things that we had done up until last week was doing that. We was doing pretty good when it comes to sustaining or holding guys, in the run game. I think the one guy that had a day with us is B. John Robinson, and he still didn't get over 100 yards by himself. So we just got to get back to what we do best, and that just play outside of football. Be gap sound and make sure that when we out there, we swarm into the football, swarming at all time. It got to be game tackle. You can't be no one man, and we have to tackle. That's something that we've been doing a lot of, this year. We have to make game tackle, but we have to tackle personally as well.
And BB, talk about tackling, man. Got to mention Bobby Wagner in that, all right? Second in the NFL in tackles, the ageless wonder. I got to imagine he's going to be a big part of not only stopping this run game, but stopping Dak.
Yeah, he's going to be a big part of it, because he has to call the defense. He has to get guys set up, and he has to be the guy running into those gaps to make those tackles. Listen, Bobby, people are sitting up here and having issues with Bobby. Bobby he helps you win on the defensive side of the football because he's going to get the people in the right spot. The ultimate thing I like about Bobby will handle his business, but we have to make sure the first guy get the player. The next guy worry about the football.
Yes.
We got to stop the first guys going up there trying to tackle the football.
And guys, there's so much more to talk about, but let's talk about our offense. We're going against one of the worst defenses in the NFL, bottom of rankings across the board. Jaden Daniels coming off of a somewhat rough game on Monday Night Football. How can he bounce back against a really bad defense that he is looking to take advantage of?
Look at what's in front of him, not what's behind him. Yeah. What happened last week is done. Nobody can do anything about it. That's for the people on social media who want to talk about everything that was. Let's talk about what's going to be. Jaden Daniels come out here and play the way he's capable of playing, handles the football, and do his thing. You don't have to worry about all those type of things, The ultimate thing for Jaden is to come out here and just go and lead your team today. Play after play after play. Don't worry about what happened last week. That has nothing to do with today.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Tanner. Go ahead, brother. I didn't mean to cut you off, man. I was excited to talk to you because we got to end on these wide receivers, man, because we kind of talked about at the beginning. Debo's out. Terry's out. We have to see these other guys step up. We've seen Luke make plays. We've seen Jalen right before this game. He seems ready to make plays. Who are you looking for to come out? We got a guy in Robbie Anderson, Robbie Chosen, who hasn't played, who's hungry. Got a lot of guys out here looking to make their mark. You've been a part of these games before.
I mean, it's not one of those guys in particular. I just want to see those guys as a core go out there and be efficient. I think, one of the things about being a receiver core, I don't have to rely on one. That's why I have 4 or 5 of those guys out there. But also not just talking about the receivers. We got tight ends. Ben Sinnott. We got Bates. Those guys have to probably change their roles from just being, blocking tight ends today, and we might see more of them in the passing game as well. This defense is going to come out here and try to look at some of the formations that, Chicago was successful with last year and coverages and say, okay, then maybe we might go man them up and send more guys. That guy with man-to-man coverage have to go out there and win, have to win big every time. Don't try me. You out there. Don't give me man-to-man. Let me get back out there.
It's the type of day where when you have a kid, you tell a young kid when you meet somebody, stand up and introduce yourself. We got a lot of young guys. Stand up and introduce yourself. It's not about what people think. It's about what the hell you know. Yeah. You know you can play football, make it happen today.
Boy, I got goosebumps there, B-Mitch. Dang, I want to go out there and play. Somebody that's standing by over the booth right now to talk more about this offense is the voice of the Commanders, our guy, Bram Weinstein. It's time for Best Seat in the House, presented by SeatGeek. The most disruptive idea in ticketing, a ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Yes, the Commanders are missing a lot of weapons today, so who becomes a hero? That's going to be a big question as they come into this game. Who steps up with a bunch of receivers that combined have 21 total catches on the season? And who's the movable Debo part that actually forces Dallas to give away what defense they are in? This screams a time of possession game today. Can Bill and the other running backs, and Bill specifically, who's got 5.7 yards per carry, will some long drives here, keep that Dallas offense off the field and keep that prolific scoring on the bench? If they're able to do that and get into second and manageable, third and short, win time of possession today, we might get one of those age-old hog-like outcomes today where Washington wins in Dallas. Back to you, Brian.
That was the voice of the Commanders, Bram Weinstein. We are taking a live look at the field. Our special teams is out there. We are going to be talking about the special teams a little later in the show. But before that, it's time for today's Inactive Report, presented by Bryce Benowitz Injury Law, the proud personal injury firm of the Washington Commanders. And fellas, we've talked about it a lot already. Debo Samuel is inactive. Terry McLaurin still inactive. We see those other guys on that list. But as Tanner so eloquently put it, it's time for those other guys to step up. And you better not try me. Now we got to go to break. But when we come back, we get into another Hall of Famer. That's right. The captain, London Fletcher, pulls up to talk all about our Commanders defense. And later in the show, the legend, Logan Paulson, joins us to talk about our Commanders offense. All that and more right after this break on Command Center Game Day Live, driven by AAA.
Commanders fans, this is for you. Level up with the brand new AAA Commanders MVP membership. You'll receive all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win game tickets, access to exclusive team events and experiences, along with 15% off Commanders gear at the online pro shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Commanders MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Commanders to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
I have the coffee.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot. Yeah, blow on that for a little bit. Not here. So on SeatGeek, what is this deal score?
It grades seats to show whether a deal is amazing, great, good, not so good, bad, or awful based on your budget.
What a coincidence. That's how I classify my relatives.
Oh, really?
The only amazing is my cat, Walter. Let me show you some pictures.
Everyone say that I am too young to do my own thing, but I know they're wrong. You see, Mama not worried and Papa never did. I'm just a little bitty girl like a whole lot of kids doing my own thing. Check me out, fella. Tell me what you think.
What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Driving the Nissan Kicks with intelligent all-wheel drive is like the best seat in the house. See why it's been named a Consumer Guide Best Buy 4 years in a row. Drive the reimagined Nissan Kicks today. Now get up to $1,500 total bonus cash on the 2025 Nissan Kicks, starting at just $21,830.
VetTix secures unused event tickets to give back to the military and veteran community. The mission? To strengthen family bonds, build lifelong memories, and encourage service members and vets to stay engaged in their community. Giving out over 15 million tickets since 2008, VetTix continues to give something to those who gave. To find out how you can help give once-in-a-lifetime experiences to our veterans, service members, and their families, visit vettix.org today.
Man, look at that. Our defense getting hyped, got me hyped. And looking at our guys on this field has me hyped. Welcome back to Command Center Gameday Live, driven by AAA. Our guys are out there getting ready. We'll be talking about special teams later, but right now it's time to talk about this defense because we got a Hall of Fame in the building. He said, you better not call me future again because I'm a Hall of Famer. Welcoming in the captain, London Fletcher. Now, Fletcher, we're going to talk about this defense, but first things first. Y'all all know what these rivalry matchups mean, what it means to be in Dallas, what it means to get a win in Dallas. How heavy is this game today?
You know, this is what it's all about. When you think about the old Cowboys-Redskins rivalry, my first game as a Redskin against the Cowboys was here in Dallas, man. I thought I knew a rivalry playing previously in other teams, but when I got here and I played in that game, and the physicality, the fan excitement, man, there was nothing like it. And there's nothing like it when the Cowboys and Washington get together.
Oh, we love that. Go ahead, man.
It's basically like you think back when you were a young kid, when you watched the movies on TV, it was the Cowboys and the Indians.
Yeah.
And I think it builds from that. And you look at two fan bases, all the way back to the owners. The owner of Dallas buying the fight song and all those things. It's all types of things that made these teams go after each other. But the ultimate thing, once you get into the game, it's just a game.
Yeah.
You got to forget about all those things and just play football.
Yes, sir. And now we're going to talk about this defense right now, right? Because nobody got after the quarterback quite like my boy, Big Fletcher. Dak Prescott is having somewhat of a career year. He's looking really, really good coming off of that injury. How can we slow him down and keep him from continuing to do what he's been doing all season long?
You know, when I look at this Dallas Cowboys offense and the way they're utilizing Dak to his skill set, they're doing heavy play-action pass, moving him out of the pocket. He has tremendous weapons at all the skill positions. But with any quarterback, none of them like the pressure in their face. None of them like to get hit. So it's going to be on that defensive line to get consistent pressure on Dak Prescott. The 3 games we've won, our defensive line has led the charge. They've gotten pressure on him. it has to be the same case here against the Dallas Cowboys. And even as I look at the Cowboys wide receivers, this is a game I think we got to play a lot more man-to-man. Most people will say, oh, we don't want to play man-to-man against this group. But it seems like when you play a little bit man-to-man against the Cowboys, you might have a little bit more success. Maybe force Dak to hold it just a tidbit for a tick second longer, force him to throw some checkdowns, but we got to get pressure on him. When you look at CeeDee Lamb, who's going to be playing today, all right, Pickens has already been having a big year. But when you add CeeDee to it, how do you defend that, or does it affect the rhythm that they already have going with Pickens? That's the key I'm waiting to see, because when CeeDee was out of the game, Pickett knew, hey, he was going to be the top guy. He was going to get 11, 12 targets a game. Now, is he going to go back to getting 4 or 5 targets a game, and is he going to be engaged all the time? With him, his MO in Pittsburgh, he wasn't always engaged, kind of a little volatile. If he's not getting the ball, not being involved early, he might kind of clock out. Hopefully, we can frustrate him. But I want to see how they choose to handle him in this ball game.
Last week, Carolina still had their way with him, even with Dak having a good game and Pickett's having a good game. What are some of the things that Carolina did that caused them to come out of there victorious and not the Cowboys?
Well, one thing is Carolina's offense was able to move the ball. They was able to score points on the Cowboys defense. The Cowboys defense, they haven't been that. I mean, they've been one of the worst in the league. But we can't hold our hats and bank and say, hey, that's going to be the defense that shows up. No. We got to expect them to kind of come out with a different type of game plan that they had, like Chicago had against us. I'm expecting them to try to bring more pressure. Yeah. But it just has to be a true complementary football game. Offense, defense, and special teams. And we're going to come out of here with a victory.
And London, before we let you go, because we know you got to get up in that booth and do your thing, we talked about this run game a little bit. 15th in the NFL currently, and a lot of that has to do with a guy in Javonte Williams, a guy that can block, a guy that can catch, do a lot of things. How do we keep a guy like him from going?
Well, when you look at when we have problems with the run game, guys not staying in their gaps, not setting the edges. There's been times where there's been vertical separation where a guy might have his gap correct, but he's too far up the field, so you get that lane, and running backs are able to come through that. So making sure we're all on the same levels, not trying to do too much, especially in a game like this where it's a big game. Guys try to put on that cape, try to do other people's job. That has gotten us in trouble in the past, but we have to be stopped, and we got to tackle well, especially against Javonte Williams. I think he's tied for 4th in the National Football League in yards after contact. He had 264 yards after contact. Wow. He breaks tackles, so you got to make sure we tackle well.
Man, we are so excited for this game. Like London said, something just a little different about Dallas. I didn't realize your first game was against Dallas as well for the Washington. Yeah, man, that is crazy, man. Thank you so much for taking the time. Now let's dive a little more into this defensive matchup. It is time for our money matchup, brought to you by Northwest Federal Credit Union, where trust matters. And the numbers for these two defenses, they're struggling a little bit, however, any given Sunday. Now, Dallas has allowed over 411 total yards and over 30 points per game. The Commanders have allowed 356.8 total yards and 21 points per game. Gotta imagine our defensive line's gonna be looking to stop some of these numbers. I got a chance to catch up with one of those guys looking to do that. His second-year defensive lineman, Johnny Newton. He pulled up to the Next Man Up podcast and talked all about what they plan to do against this Dallas offense.
We got another set of back-to-backs. We're going to be in Dallas taking on the Cowboys. You know now, those NFC East games hit a little different, man. What are you looking to get right in Dallas, and how can we find success out there?
For sure. Just being us, playing commander ball, getting to that ball and taking it away. That's something we need to do as a defense. Coach Witt preaches it every week. The ball, the ball, the ball. You know, every meeting we say it's about the ball. So, and like I said, stopping that run. They got a great running back, great offensive line, and you know, them divisional games, they get tough in them trenches. So, O-line, D-line, us doing our thing, holding our ground, you know, and we'll see.
That was Jermander Johnny Newton on the Next Man Up podcast. You can stream that and a ton of podcasts all on the Commanders YouTube page, or stream the audio wherever you get your podcasts. We drop shows every day of the week, and it's all for the best fans in the NFL. Now, we got to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere, because when we come back, Logan Paulson is pulling up to talk more about this Commanders offense. And we'll hear from a year 2 receiver making plays in a number of ways for the Commanders. Find out who that is and more right after this break This is Command Center Game Day Live, driven by AAA.
Commanders fans, this is for you. Level up with the brand new AAA Commanders MVP membership. You'll receive all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win game tickets, access to exclusive team events and experiences, along with 15% off Commanders gear at the online pro shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Commanders MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Commanders to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
Toyota reliability for all your adventures. Built to perform, born to thrill. Toyota RAV4. Find yourself discovering more. Buy yours now and save with low 4.75% APR financing. Toyota. Let's go places.
One Life Fitness has something for everyone. From midday movers to sunset shakers. From powerful workouts to peaceful flows. From personal training to personal bests. Whatever your fitness journey, enjoy premium amenities with a supportive staff, all at an affordable price. That's why we're the best value in fitness. Go to onelifefitness.com to join today. One Life Fitness. Every journey welcome.
He is our franchise quarterback. He is a guy that we're building this franchise around with Cliff Kingsbury as the play caller.
Into the end zone! Touchdown! Touchdown, Washington!
Back into Command Center Game Day Live, driven by AAA. You are seeing our special teams guys out there. We're going to talk about that a little later, but first, we have to hear from a legend. It's time for Field Pass, driven by AAA. AAA Commanders MVP membership. Visit AAA.com/Commanders to join. And that legend is no other than our guy, Logan Paulson's on the sideline all game. Thank you for taking the time with us, man. We know our offense is ready for a big game against this defense, particularly Jaden Daniels. Only his second time here at AT&T Stadium. How can he continue to build off his second season and looking good as he does so far?
We talk about styles making fights, and I think tonight is a perfect matchup for Jaden Daniels. And what I mean by that is the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys plays a ton of zone. They're having a hard time creating pressure with 4. And when you look at teams that Jaden Daniels has absolutely balled out against, it's teams that play that exact same formula. So I think that's what we're going to see tonight in terms of offensive production. Again, all the offensive playmakers are nicked up. It's going to be tough. But I just think when you've got a difference maker at the quarterback spot and you've got a matchup defensively that fits you so well, you're going to have a great opportunity to be successful.
With that being said, do you believe that watching Chicago sometimes switch it up and go man-to-man and bring guys and knowing what we have at receiver today, do you think you'll see some of those kind of, coverages? Because I think that would be the counter for saying that, hey, they think that we're coming out in zone, but we've seen another team be successful doing this.
So if I was the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, that's exactly what I would do. But Matt Eberflus historically has been very regimented about playing cover 3. Like, he doesn't really change it up very much. Last week, for example, Carolina, they have the highest run percentage, one of the highest run percentages in the NFL. They only played heavy boxes on 15% of the snaps. It's basically like saying, I know you're going to run it, but I'm not going to do anything about it. So I do think Eberflus is very set in his ways. He's got a very specific vision for this defense. So I don't expect him to change really like the Chicago Bears did.
Well, looking at our receiver room, we're depleted. We're down with Terry. We don't have Debo out there. So do you think that they will try something different? And if they do, how do you still go out and have an effective passing game with a lot of young bucks?
Well, I think the thing that gives me a lot of confidence is Cliff, man. And when you're running this hurry-up offense, you're taking a defense that is already simple and making it even simpler, right? So if I can kind of tip the deck in those offensive playmakers' favor with Luke, with Moore, with Chosen coming out off the elevator from practice squad, I think you're just giving them a slight advantage. And Cliff, week in and week out, he does it as good as anybody. It looks a little bit different than like Kyle or Sean or Mike, for example, but he does it in his own way that's very unique. So I think having a guy like that gives me a lot of confidence that they're going to be able to find a way to take advantage of the guys they do have today.
And Logan, you mentioned Robbie Chosen. Let's talk about him a little bit because he's been out of the NFL for a while, but there was one point where he was a #1 receiver.
He was the man, yeah.
And now he's looking for that redemption. You know that as a player. What do these games mean for players like this? Getting an opportunity, right? It's all about opportunity when guys are hurt. Robbie gets opportunity tonight.
Well, I think that's what you said. Like, I remember talking to Rex Grossman when I first got to the team. He hadn't started for like 10 years since he was in Chicago, and he says it's really hard to get back. And so when you do get back, you want to grab that thing with two hands. I think you're going to get that from Robbie Chosen tonight, right? Like this idea that, hey, I've been out of it. It's not been me for a while. I've been my best version of myself. Been bouncing around on practice squads, and now finally I get to get back on the grass and show what I can be in an offense that I think really needs his skill set and really can magnify his skill set.
You also don't want to force it too. You also don't want to force it either. I think he's one of those wide receivers that any receiver don't want to come in the game and like, it's on me, it's on me, it's on me. Allow the game to flow your way and allow to catch that first one or two catches to get yourself going. Because if you go out there and try to make a bang out of that first one, it can end up the wrong way.
You're right. I don't think he's going to be like featured of the offense. I think he'll be organically included in what this offense already does.
Well, you look at this defense of Dallas, not very good.
Not very good.
and we are very good running the football. We said the same thing against Atlanta. How do we go out there and be able to take advantage of a defense that's not good against the run?
I think what I'd like to see tonight is a diverse run game. And what I mean by that is like we've been very successful running out of 13 personnel with Trent Scott at tight end. Can we get back to some of the stuff we did versus LA where, hey, we're in different formations, we're in 3-by-1s, we've created light box counts, we've created good angles for the offensive line. That's really hard to do in the week, but Cliff's shown he can do it, and I feel like today is the day we got to bring that thing out and show how to maximize that rushing attack. Multiple formations, multiple personnel groupings. I think that's the key to get that ball running tonight.
And Logan, you are somebody that watches film endlessly, and we've got to really see the progression of Bill Krosky-Merritt. Last game wasn't as good as we had hoped. However, he's still shown improvement. What have you seen from him up until this point of the season? Because we're already halfway through the season. A 7th-round pick getting these kind of looks. Seems like our offensive coordinator likes him a lot.
So that's a crazy statement, right? Because, again, he wasn't statistically very productive, but I actually thought he ran the best.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is when you got all these 8-man boxes with stunts and free runners in the hole, you got to make people miss, right? And so his ability to do that is on display every week. His talent is undeniable, right? Now it's can we take him and that skill set and get him into space and maximize his explosive element that he brings to this offense.
And Logan, I got to mention Zach Ertz, right? Tanner said it last week. This feels like a Zach Ertz type game. Zach Ertz has scored a touchdown or more every time he played Dallas last season. So we're expecting Zach Ertz to have another one of those games, Logan.
I am expecting Zach Ertz to have a big game tonight. I'm also expecting maybe this is the first time we get a Ben Sinnott or Colston Yankoff sighting. With all these receivers banged up, you look for experience and relationship with the quarterback. And those guys have that, right? So can we get, if we're going to run the football a lot, right? There's going to be a lot of tight ends on the field. Can we get those other younger guys involved? Like in the preseason, we saw Colston Yankoff can be explosive feature, right? So maybe Ben Sinnott sighting. For sure, Zach, because he's the old man. He's the war daddy. But maybe some of those other young guys get involved, too.
He doesn't look too old. And speaking of young guys, before we go, I think we do got to touch on Luke McCaffrey a little bit, right? Me and Tanner were watching him earlier, and we were just saying, this feels like one of those games where he really breaks out because, again,
introduce yourself, young man.
And he did it on special teams. Then he did it as a wide receiver. He continues to find ways to make an impact. How do you see him making an impact tonight, Logan?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that his usage up to this point has been in the context of the offense, right? He's not getting featured targets, but maybe tonight with all the injuries and how everyone's banged up, we get some touches with him in the run game. We get some screens with him. We get some opportunities to kind of add volume to what he's been doing. Fingers crossed, but yeah, man, like he's a fun guy to watch. He's a fun guy to root for.
Go Gadget. And Tanner, that was so perfect because we are about to hear from Luke McCaffrey right now. He took some time to stay up to the Players Club with Santana Moss, London Fletcher, and Sean Springs and got a little bit of extra greatness. Let's hear from our boy Luke.
What has year 2 been like for you, man? I mean, last year, we didn't know what to expect with the road, but immediately when you got out there, I saw a couple of times where you got close to having that score, or you made some plays. And I was surprised because I'm like, here's a guy who probably didn't anticipate having these opportunities last year as a rookie, but making the most of them. Fast forward to this year. Once you got your feet wet, you've been off and running, man. What has it been like for you?
It's been fun. I think we have such a good brotherhood, such a good team that I've just been blessed to be around so many great people. I think I've been lucky enough to be able to feed off that in so many different ways. But just the unit in the receiver room with Terry, with Adam Debo this year, even Chris Moore, Jalen Lane, everybody in that room is so great. You know, it's such good energy. And so just being able to kind of lean off that, feed off that, and then when you have a guy like Jaden and then even Marcus, who came in a couple games this week, when you have guys that are that talented at the quarterback position, it makes the receiver position a lot more fun. And then I've been the beneficiary of a lot of good, you know, kind of drawn up plays by Cliff too. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a blessing.
That was Luke McCaffrey on the Players Club. That streams every Saturday on the Commanders YouTube page or the audio wherever you get your podcast. Now let's look at the stats in 2025 for our guy Luke. 8 receptions, 179 receiver yards, 3 touchdowns, 16 kick returns, and 504 kick return yards. He's really been the catalyst for our special teams unit. And B-Mitch, Tanner, y'all were special teams players that were very, very special. We need our special teams to be special tonight, B.
Yeah, we need to keep going. I think the thing about Luke tonight, Luke may be more involved with the offense.
Yeah.
So you know who may get an opportunity to return some of these kicks tonight? Jalen Lane.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, Luke has been very effective. I think Luke has been terrific at it. Jalen is a natural return guy. He knows how to hit that thing full speed. We might see some big returns from outside today. Also see Luke going out on the offense doing some things. But both of those young guys have the capabilities of making a positive mark on this game. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, big up to Coach Izzo for what he's been doing on those guys, with those guys, because I think beyond just the return ability from those guys, you see the entire special teams being special. Kickoff unit, kick return unit, the punt unit, the punt return unit, all those guys are flying around. You got guys like Revo, Mikey, all those guys are contributing to why we're so good on special teams. So I want to see those guys go out there and be phenomenal today because we're going to need them.
Man, you talk about Revo, Luke, Jalen, all guys much like yourselves that made y'all chops in the league on special teams. Y'all made a name for yourselves on special teams. Got a feeling Jalen and Luke can make a name for themselves tonight. B, when you look at the way Jalen Lane has just been such a professional. He has taken his time because he is a guy that I think we're very high expectations on what he would do as a receiver, but we've really seen what he's done as a returner. You mentioned him maybe getting some more looks. How happy are you to see your little brother who's out here doing his thing?
I'm happy to see it because, you know, when the guy's drafted for a reason and he comes and he shows you can do that, then you see he can do some other things. The one thing I love about it, Jalen Lane has gone out there and had success returning the ball. And now he can start to focus on some other things. He understands this is my calling, but this is not all I can do. And now he goes out and he starts doing some things on offense in a situation where they need it. They need other guys to step up. He goes out there and show that, and you can see Luke and Jalen Lane be two guys as we go through this season, be very, very effective and help us go out and win a lot of games.
Yeah, one of the things I love about being a special teams guy, being a punt returner, is being a receiver and a punt returner. If I wasn't getting those touches as a receiver, then I was looking forward to doing that as a punt returner. And after I caught a couple of punts, now I'm trouble out there as a receiver. So I'm love the fact that that's one of the reasons why, to me, you see a guy like Luke striving, his trajectory is going up because he's getting comfortable back there as a kick returner, and it's bringing his confidence up to where it needs to be as a receiver, man. I love watching both of those guys do their thing.
Man, that confidence is through the roof, man. That was great analysis because it's right. That's how y'all did it, and it's great to see the young guys do it as well. Now, we do have to go to break, but when we come back, we are hearing from the Hall of Famer. That's right, it's time for B. Mitch's Big Three. You'll want to hear what our guy has to say about this matchup. And we caught up with head coach Dan Quinn on the game plan earlier today. We'll hear from our fearless leader and more from these great guys after this break. That's all on Command Center Gameday Live, driven by Triple A. Man, I never get tired of seeing that 30. I never do.
Who that was you were talking to?
At Northwest Stadium, we raise hail together, cheer together, and trust in our team together. Northwest is proud to support the Commanders. And as your hometown credit union, your goals are our #1 priority. We're your friends, neighbors, and fellow fans. And your financial success is our passion. Become a member today and let us help you build your next dynasty. Northwest Federal Credit Union, where trust matters.
The best offense is a great defense. Get 100% verified tickets only from Ticketmaster. Seats available all season long, even last minute. Take it to the house every time. Ticketmaster, official marketplace of the NFL.
Toyota Performance. Reinventing hybrids. With power you can feel. Camry. An experience for your senses. Buy yours now and save with low 4.99% APR financing. Toyota, let's go places.
VetTix secures unused event tickets to give back to the military and veteran community. The mission? To strengthen family bonds, build lifelong memories, and encourage service members and vets to stay engaged in their community. Giving out over 15 million tickets since 2008, VetTix continues to give something to those who gave. To find out how you can help give once-in-a-lifetime experiences to our veterans, service members, and their families, visit vettix.org today.
Welcome back into Command Center Gameday Live, driven by AAA. Our Commanders are on the field. You are seeing Jaden Daniels getting ready for another matchup against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we know these games are big when it comes to the NFC East, so let's take a look at our NFC East standings real quick before we welcome in a very, very special guest. Now, Philadelphia is 4-2 right now. Washington's close, 3-3. Dallas 2-3 and 1 tie, and then New York 2-4. We got some games going on right now. I think Philly's up by 9 points right now, so that may change. However, we're not worried about the Eagles. Rocking that Hall of Fame jacket, looking good, looking like the youngest out of all four of us, brother.
Money, I told him. He got me a little jacket.
Now, Darrell is so happy to have you here, man. We're talking NFC East. Before I do anything else, B-Mitch whispered to me while we jumped on. Ask him how crazy B-Mitch was. Ask him how crazy B-Mitch was. Darrell Green, how crazy was B-Mitch?
Doesn't all of DC know? Where y'all been? This guy, yo, I don't care how crazy you are. This man got the biggest heart. Biggest heart.
For sure.
Everybody know that.
Yes.
He got your back.
Yes, sir. Darrell, we talk about these NFC East rivalries, and there's nothing that really hit quite like Washington versus Dallas. These is different. When you look back on your time giving the Dallas Cowboys hell, man, what sticks into your mind?
Dude, my first game, y'all was in diapers. He wasn't thought about.
Sorry. I don't watch the tape.
Dude, no, this is it.
Yeah.
This is, the NFC East you're talking about, and we okay. But we got to do this for many reasons. But we got to do this because when I came to Washington, some of y'all fans know what I'm talking about. Dude, it was Dallas week. It was on, and you better be on your game.
Being a guy, you grew up in Texas, though, right?
Houston, Texas.
That's what I'm saying. So how was it when you was a kid watching that rivalry, and then now fast forward to you being, in Washington and having to come back?
Well, one thing they do when we got there, you ever heard of baptism? They baptize you. Dallas week. I can't breathe. No, bro. Hey, it's the baptism, and it was over day one. You're a Redskin. You're a Commander. That's what it's about. And I know the fans know what I'm talking about.
Right, the fans know what you're talking about. But like, when you look at it though, D, when you got young guys getting the opportunity out here today, how do they go about making a name for themselves without trying to do too much?
Yeah. Well, I was telling somebody, I won't even tell you who it was. I was telling them the way I played 20 seasons, I just played 20. I played one season 20 times.
Yeah.
I played one game 400 times. I just think I told this gentleman, go back to zero, and I said, right, do a mark on your glove. So when you look at it, it makes you, I just ran a 30-yard, whatever, go back to zero.
Yeah.
And that's, I'm not even playing with that.
to play 20 years, that's where it's got to be. You got to go back to zero. You can't celebrate for 2 seconds and then, okay, let's go. That's the way it has to be. It's a psychology around being great.
Man, it's hard for me to focus right now. I'm here around so much greatness. And I'm looking at you and Tanner standing next to each other. Did you ever watch Tanner and be like, I can line up against him. I might be able to put some hands on him.
Do with John Blaze, man.
You played in here.
Yeah.
Dude, let me get out the picture. This is the guy.
The Cowboy killer.
Right here.
Yes,
right here.
The Cowboy killer, and we are so happy that you pulled up on us, man. Greatness
Appreciate
right
you,
here.
bro.
It has been great. And speaking of greatness, you get to hear me read some of B. Mitch's career numbers. So we're about to get into B. Mitch's big three. Darrell, let me know how I do on this one. Now, he is second in NFL history in all-purpose yards. He holds the NFL record for kickoff returns. Holds the NFL record for punt returns. Second most special teams touchdowns in NFL history. And of course, he is a Super Bowl champion. Boy, that's like Hall of Famer, don't it?
That's Yellow Jacket worthy.
Why you want to share with? That's
Yellow
crazy when you put those
Jacket
numbers
worthy.
like that. It is crazy, man. But you know what? He didn't got the gold jacket yet. It's coming. But he does have B. Mitch's Big Three. It is time for B. Mitch's Big Three. Brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. Please play responsibly. And B. Mitch, my brother, that was so cool to see that right there. Let us get back on track because for number 3, you said it a lot this season, winning in the trenches.
Yeah, you have to win in the trenches. And the whole thing about it, when you win in the NFC East, this is a black and blue division where you're going to be hurting after the game. And those big guys inside have to win. Listen, yes, they throw the ball around, but I said every week, win in the trenches. You run the ball, stop the run, you give your team a great chance of winning.
Those guys that smell like bacon, right, Tanner?
There you go.
You know it. Oink, oink.
Now, this one is straight out of Tanner's book. It is what it is. Win the turnover battle.
Hey, and you have to do that. You know, we understand each team knows each other very well. We play them twice a year. You know them just as much as they know you. So you have to make sure that they're not going to be standing there when you go to throw a ball. They're going to be raking at the football. Bill, they saw Bill fumble the ball 2 times in 2 weeks. They're going to be raking at the ball. You have to hold on to it. And what we need to do is rake at the ball for them after we get somebody on the tackle.
Yes.
We pull the ball out, we win the turnover battle. You watch that. If you win the turnover battle, you probably win 98% of the games. Win the turnover battle.
And you talk about winning the turnover battle, Tanner. A lot of that has to do with the play of Mikey Sanderson. Just always seem to be in the right place at the right moment. What have you seen from him, and how can he get his hands on the ball? Because, boy, do they got a tough test today.
You know, Mikey's been playing phenomenal. I think when you hear people talking about he hasn't, it's because they don't understand. It's tough to play in this league, for one, but it's tough to change your position in your second year and play a totally new, different, position. I think when you got a guy that played corner outside, but you say, hey, he played in the inside in college, not the same inside here.
Yeah,
you got so many ways to go with a guy in the inside. No matter how good of a cover man he is, you still have the advantage as a receiver. I love what Mikey is doing. He's fearless. He's a guy that's going to get up in your face. And guess what? If you beat him once, you got to do it again. So I'm looking forward to him having a bounce-back game because last week he let one get on the turf.
Yeah.
And that's not like Mikey, but it was raining. So today, we got good conditions, baby.
Yep.
I see Mikey one in his hand.
And you know Mikey got
All
those
his
hands,
life.
too, a former wide receiver. And last but not least, B. Mitch. Be consistent.
Well, the thing about it, these guys work at things in practice. And then all of a sudden, sometimes you get into a game like this, somebody tries to do something out of the ordinary. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
What you've been doing all week, what you've been taught all year, go out there and do that over and over and over again. If you ever watch teams like Princeton, they go out there with this stale little offense on they playing basketball. They go to stale defense, and what the other team does, try to be spectacular, and they make mistakes. If you're consistent and the other team has to go out there, on the golf course, if I keep getting pars, you got to go get birdie. Normally you'll make a mistake if you're not that good. I believe we go out there, we play consistent football, we make Dallas has to press, they start pressing, we get that turnover. We go out there, we start to kill them in the trenches. Those things happen, we get a victory.
I love that on that picture of that graphic, consistency. We had Jaden Daniels there. Because, Tanner, there hasn't been anybody that has been more consistent when healthy, when able to play a big game for Jaden Daniels tonight. And I got to imagine, out of all people, he has to be the most consistent.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. I think, we talk about having a couple of guys down that's considered our star wide receivers or our star players on the offense. But he's shown you from day one that he can get everybody involved in the game, so he don't need a star because he's the guy that can make us all stars. So I love that about Jaden Daniels. That's why he has us where we at today.
And Tanner, you're doing a little bit producing because that is my next season. Talk about stars. Well, after this break, Sam Tanner Moss and Brian Mitchell will be talking about who needs to be stars today in Dallas. We'll be back with more Command Center Game Day Live, driven by AAA.
So this is my favorite room, my chunky mantry. Got my guy TV cooking some chili dog mac.
What did you do to my pantry?
It was him.
Chunky, soup that eats like a meal.
In Ocean City, Maryland, having fun is kind of our thing. I mean, look at these two. They're all about having fun. That's fun. This is fun. Whoa. Too much fun? Nah, no such thing. Because here, even leg day is fun. So head to the coast and, well, just coast. Pump up the volume, or just pump up the pool floaty. From the boardwalk to the bay, come discover somewhere to smile about.
Driving the Nissan Kicks with intelligent all-wheel drive is like the best seat in the house. See why it's been named a Consumer Guide Best Buy 4 years in a row. Drive the reimagined Nissan Kicks today. Now get up to $1,500 total bonus cash on the 2025 Nissan Kicks, starting at just $21,830.
Trust brings us together as families, friends, and neighbors. At Northwest Federal Credit Union, we know your financial decisions are more than just signing on a dotted line. You're putting your trust on the line, and as life unfolds, we'll be here for every step of your journey. At Northwest, we work to earn your trust every day, because this is our community too. Become a member today. Northwest Federal Credit Union, where trust matters.
So this is my favorite room, my chunky mantry. Got my guy TV cooking some chili dog mac.
What did you do to my pantry?
It was him.
Chunky, soup that eats like a meal.
You're watching Command Center Game Day Live, driven by AAA. AAA Commanders MVP membership. Visit AAA.com/commanders to join.
Welcome back into Command Center Game Day Live, driven by AAA. The fans are starting to pull up. Now, this shot might not really show it, but I'm telling y'all, burgundy and gold is in the building here today. Now, we are going to talk about some exciting players to watch, but first, let's hear from our head coach, Dan Quinn, on the game plan about this rivalry game.
Rivalry week. There's nothing like the NFC East battles, and you know that better than anybody. How have you gotten your guys ready for this more, right? We're coming off of prime time. Now it's a rivalry game, a big rivalry game.
Yes.
How you get the guys up for that?
You know what's good? You don't have to say a lot, Brian. Just look at these helmets right here. And this battle's been going on well before the three of us. And it's really cool to be a part of that, and knowing that so many players, have been part of the tradition here with the organization. And so this matchup in the NFL is always a big one. And so for us to get to be a big part of that between DC and Dallas and battling for it, man, it's awesome, and it'll be a hell of a fight.
How do you get the young guys familiarized with the rivalry? Because that was something that other coaches I played for here did. They kind of show a video or they get someone in to talk. Because coming from college, it's like you don't understand kind of the history of it. Do you do anything kind of to get those guys like this?
Same thing. We want to make sure we have some demonstration of games and what happened, and so it's a big deal to know like, hey, you are now part of it.
Yeah, right.
This is what happened in the past, and this is what's here, and so it's a cool thing, and we get to show that a little bit on the night before the game.
That was your head coach on the game plan. You can stream that Sunday mornings right before kickoff. Now it's time for our exciting players to watch, presented by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com. And fellas, we are talking about who needs to be stars for us in Dallas. And of course, I got to start with the Cowboy killer, Santana Moss. Who needs to be a star today, bro?
I think being stars-wise, I think I put on the paper this week, I want to see the coaches be stars.
Yeah.
One of the things that we don't talk about enough, I need to see the coaches dial it up in a way to make these guys look so good that we're talking about them post-game. How great that game plan was, how schematically we did things offensively with Cliff Kingsbury, and just how Joe Witt Jr. came back home to Dallas, where he made a lot of money at, because now he's our D coordinator, and showed these guys better than he could tell them. That's what I want to see. But I know it's going to start with the players doing their thing effectively, but the coaches going to be the ones that we raise up and praise.
We saw last year, Dan came in, Cliff came in, Joe, and everything changed up. And everybody gave those guys a lot of praise, a lot of credit. This year they come back. They giving the same message. Those guys are still out here trying to get these guys to play football like they're capable of playing. So I think this, when they play well, they can lean it over a little bit. When they bad, it goes all to the coaches because the players care. I mean, fans care more about the players. But the ultimate thing is, Dan, just get the message right. Go out there and make these guys understand what we did last year is the same thing we need to do this year to get back on this horse. And I think if they go out there, like Tanner said, the coaches will be the stars. Whether the fans give it to them or not, the players will know what's happening.
It's crazy what they've been able to do so quickly. Like you said, a lot of these guys are coming here from Dallas. They put this coaching staff together, and they have established something that we could truly call Commanders football.
Yeah.
I don't know if we had that identity before that. They were able to make that identity in just a season. Like you said, B-Mitch, we're seeing them building on that in year 2. Now, B-Mitch, I know you got somebody in mind that needs to be a star out here in Dallas.
I think it's going to be Bill. You know, the thing I'm saying about that is because I understand what the running game can do for this football team. If Bill goes out there and do what Bill is capable of, that means gutting them in a running game. He can cut them up, slice and dice. That kid sees holes on the backside. He will find it for him. If he's running the ball effectively, he's going to be the star because you know what? He's going to keep Dak and his crew on the sideline. He's going to make that defense start to try and do some things. And all of a sudden, boom, you see a big touchdown. You'll see a big run. If Bill goes out there and do the things that made everybody fall in love with him about, he's going to be the star, and Dallas is going to lose this game because Washington go out there and kick that ass.
And Taylor, you got to spend time with Bill. You've had him on Players Cup. You got to see him around. There's just something special about that kid. He's always smiling. He's a lot bigger than people think. What have you seen from Bill this far this season? Because we're already halfway through his rookie year.
I mean, he has that it factor about himself. I've been around a lot of guys that just seem like they have it. You know what I mean? It's nothing that he had to do overly hard or he don't have to try. It's in him. And that's one of the things that, B-Mitch just alluded to is it's his things that he does different from every other back that's in that lineup with him. You know what I mean? That's why he stands out because, he can take this 2-yard run and make it a 15-yard run off of what he saw and some of the things that he can do athletically that a lot of the other guys can't do. So he has the it factor, but also he's a humble young man and he's eager to be that star.
I got a feeling y'all some it man as well, man. Y'all just got that it factor, man. I love that. Now, fellas, one thing we know when it's high-powered offenses, you got to get off to a fast start, right?
Yeah.
We need to hit them in the mouth early, as B-Mitch so eloquently put it. B, before we wrap up, because the game's about to start, how do we get off to a fast start tonight in Dallas?
Everything that you need to do to get off to a fast start should have already been done. Right now, you're in the locker room, you're focusing. This is the mental preparation. Focus on what you needed to do, and you got it done. So go out here and just play football. You shouldn't be now trying to figure out how to go play football. And I'm sure all the guys got that. Yeah. They got veteran leadership on this squad. Hit the ground running. Don't try to do anything special. Just do what you're supposed to do.
What he said.
Just like that, what he said. Now we're going to get up out of here because the game is about to start. But remember, immediately after the game, tune into Command Center post-game live, where we'll be breaking down this Commanders win because we know what we're here to do. We're here to get a dub over the Dallas Cowboys. Shout out to Logan Paulson for joining us. London Fletcher, Darrell Green pulled up in the jacket. I can't wait to pull up next to B-Mitch when he's wearing that jacket real soon. We'll see y'all for post-game. I'm your host, Brian Colbert Jr. here with Mr. 8 to the 9, Santana Moss, and the Hall of Famer, Brian Mitchell.